Hey guys, Travis here. Here I'm going to show you my journey and experiences from 2018. This year I did about 133 paintings, drawings, sketches, or pages, I should say. So there's about 60 more than I did the previous 2 years. So I was doing more, but it wasn't meaningful. What I mean was I knew I had to do more. I knew I had to do more practice. Had to do more. That's it. I knew I wasn't doing enough, but I still didn't realize how much more I need to do. So when I was watching YouTube or a TV show, I'll be there watching it while drawing, see something, I'll be, oh, that's really cool. I start drawing it, but I wouldn't pause the video. I wouldn't use the reference. I'd see it for a split seconds, one scene, and I'd quickly try and draw a character or a pose or something, a prop or something. I'd see it, I'm like, no, I really draw that. And so I'd try and draw it, and it would turn into a jumbled mess. And a lot of things like that is well, things like this. I'm trying to draw these images really quickly, and they're just a bumble of mess. There's nothing there. There's nothing. It's not meaningful. I'm not focusing on what I'm doing, and that's a huge problem. You really need to be understanding what you're doing. Each stroke needs to be meaningful. You need to know what you're doing. Otherwise, it's not going to stick in your head. And that's one thing I realized. Bulk is good, but you need to know what you're doing. So there are a few things that I was doing correctly, such as proportions practicing. There are so I'd be doing proportions and I'd be doing referencing here. But if this is the correct way to do things, doing a reference, copying the reference and doing it for imagination, which I did sometimes, I'd only do it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I do one set, one body, or one skull, and that's it. And I will never touch skulls again. Like I went straight. The next thing I did was onto heads. Well, go on to heads, and I never focused on one thing long enough for it to sink in, and that's another problem. So all the problems I had in 2018 was I was rushing things too much, just rushing, and thinking get bulk out, even though it wasn't a lot. I thought at the time it was a lot, but in hindsight, it's still not a lot of work I was doing. But it was too fast and I wasn't retaining the information. It's not the correct way to learn. There were a couple times where I did copies and references, mastercraft, what you want to call it, where I'd copy something, which is the correct way, and I'd take my time doing it. So this one was a copy of someone, even though it's anime, which is you really shouldn't start with anime. If you're gonna start, you need to go back to human figures, correct human things. You got to do it correctly. So there was a few things I was doing correctly. That I was going to doing rock sketches and getting my values and colors down, um, but more just focusing on have the image there and I'll be copying it. Um, but still, even then, didn't really know what I was doing. I was just purely copying. You really got to be understanding what you're copying. Why is this color like this? Why is the lighting like this? How far away is it? And so there's a lot of things I'm only just starting to realize now what I need to be doing. So there's a few practices trying to get my values down and perspective. But the biggest ones I had, most good ones I did, were these ones. These were probably my completed ones I did, where I sat down, took my time, and copied something or I did something for imagination. I took my time and they turned out okay. Um, so a lot of these were copies of other people's. But this one here, this is one that's all my own. I really how happy this one came. This took me a couple of days to do. It purely came up as a friend wanted a tattoo design, and I knew I couldn't do one, but I just yeah, I'll do it, And so, and this is what it came out to. And I was really happy, not as a tattoo design, but as a painting. I really enjoyed it. I took my time, and I had references, and it came out beautifully. I reckon for the time. And there's a couple more in there I did. Um, like this one, a couple more referencing, changing with colors, and I was happy the way it came out. So if you just take your time, sit down, relax, enjoy the process. You don't need to rush these things. You need to understand what you're doing. That is the key point I learned from 2018. I need to slow down and just focus on what I'm doing. Practice more, do more, but just understand what you're doing. That is the key thing. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Um, I just wanted to share that 2018. That is my biggest thing I learned was taking your time. Anyway, guys, keep practicing.